Right. I'm actually had a look at the bottom of the deck. So we've got the King of Wands coming up there. Now, why I've been doing that, and I do that sometimes. I don't know. I don't always get called to, and I do it more in my personals, but I've been looking at it a little bit. Have a look. So this was underlying, right? Two of Wands. Which direction am I going in? What's the influencing factor here? The King of Wands is the influencing factor. Now, let's talk about the King of Wands for a moment. Fire energy, right? Actually, let's just pop him out here. You can join the party, King of Wands. Right, let's budge these up a little bit. Keep my Virgo moon happy. And let's go. So why this is important is if you're trying to pick which direction to go in, it's being influenced by a King of Wands. Now, that's you. What's influencing your which direction you take this in? Your inspiration, what action you're willing to take. What are your passions? What are you looking to create? That is the kind of deciding factor here. Because the Two of Wands urges us to go in a different direction. Take the path less traveled. And, you know, we don't have to. We have that. That's why it's a choice, right? But that's the wand. He knows what his passions are. He knows what his creative ventures are. He goes for it. He would always go for it. He's larger than life, the King of Wands. He steps out into the spotlight. He's not afraid of he's built for the spotlight. That's what he's there for. And if you have a look at this guy's picked as well. He's picked his wand. He's got the world. He's considering, how do I do this though? So you know what your passion is in the Two of Wands because he's got his wand, but you don't know which direction to take it in. The King of Wands doesn't have that problem. So I kind of get the sense just want to put it this way. This is how I'm interpreting this, or how I'm getting it is. You can do it in a quiet way or you can do it in a loud way. That's what I'm getting. You can do it in a quiet way or you can do it in a loud way. And I'm going to say go loud. Go loud. Why wouldn't you? Just be as extra as you can be in this. That's the way to do this. And I wouldn't be saying that if you did not have the King of Swords as the past energy and the Emperor in your present. You hold all the cards here. You have the power. But I don't know why you don't realize that. I don't know why you don't realize that. Because I'll come to the Four of Wands in a moment. But the past, last week, last month, last year, what's been developed here, what's come about here is some solid knowledge. The whole thing with the King of Swords is that he can say, I know. I know. He knows everything. A bit like Gemini, right? But yeah, he knows everything. He's got solid information behind it, knowledge behind it. He detaches from his emotions. And it's interesting because you don't actually have any cups or anything coming up here. It's a lot of fire and air coming in. Kind of combustible, kind of let's go, let's do this, let's explode this thing. Let's, not literally, but it's about you going forward and being you. Now you've got the knowledge to do this. Whatever experiences you've been through. It's clear in your head, the path to take, the plan. You have the answers here, right? But this is all theory work. He knows it in theory. Now it's about doing it, taking the action to implement whatever this is. Now, let's be clear. If we're talking about work, this is about really stepping up and being seen. If this is about relationships, you're being asked to commit now. To take control. There's not about waiting for someone to come up to you. There's not about waiting for an answer. This is about going, I'm going down this direction. Are you coming with me? Because that's the King of Wands. You've got a lot of, and it's not about gender. It's not masculine, feminine. We all have the divine masculine and feminine within us. It's not about that. The fact that when kings come up, or when the emperor comes up, or when this is all about control. This is all about power. And asserting your power. Do you think kings wait for anything? Do you think they wait to be told what to do? They don't. They pick a path and they go down it. And that's this is crunch time. This is that week. It's like, just decide. Decide on your passions, on your creative, and just decide. You don't have to worry about the end result. What's the next step that you're going to take? And but the kind of question mark that's coming up here is, do I have the power to do this? Do I have the authority to do this? Yes, you bloody do. Let's just take that as a given. You have the authority and the power to do this. You are a divine sovereign being. You have free will. That is the greatest superpower that we have as human beings. Exercise it. Theory work's done. Now it's time for the practical, right? We have the Four of Wands coming up at the heart of this. And I know the practical is more pentacles, and we don't have any pentacles here. But it's kind of I kind of feel like the steam is getting going. Like it's some kind of, I don't know if any of you are into steampunk. I love a lot of steampunk stories and stuff. And it's like the dirigibles ready to take off and stuff, like, you know, but you've got that steam going, it's pumping, and nothing's moving yet. It's like, are you going to remove the anchor? How far do we go? That's what this King of Wands is saying. I would say it's going in a different direction. You have a solid foundation here with the Four of Wands coming up. Celebrate how far you've come. Celebrate how far you've come. Whatever this has been, whatever you've been trying to figure out or working through, or whatever your experiences have taught you, because that can come up with the King of Swords, right? You know who you are. You're an air sign, right? King of Swords, that's air energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, yes, but that's you. He's got mastery. That's the highest court card that you can get. So please don't doubt what you know. Gemini, please don't doubt what you know. That's the most, I know a lot of readers and intuitives that have a lot of air energy in their charts. And, you know, I think it's wrong to assume that every single sign works the same way. I think if you have a lot of water in your chart, your intuition works in a different way. If you have air, and the most difficult thing for air signs who are intuitives, and we all have intuition on some level. But in this field of work is they don't trust what they know, because they say it's just another thought. Because we always have all these thoughts going through our head, right? And you just kind of think, well, it's just another thought. It isn't. That's knowledge. Now we need to implement what we know. And you have a solid basis, beautiful energy. And I'm sorry I've belabored it. Well, Gemini's like, move on to the bottom row. I'm moving on. Come on. We have the Emperor here. The reason I'm kind of going on and on about this is where am I taking it? Where am I going next? Why is that up for, I don't know, why is that being discussed? Why is that a choice? Why is that an option here? Because he knows, the King of Wands always knows where he wants to go. And I always see that with the Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, and King of Wands. They're always going to go in a different direction. They want a new experience. They want to take this to some next level. And that's what's coming in. But guess what? No one's going to just pick you up and put you on that next level. And I don't think you're waiting for that to happen. But I just don't feel like it's that big of... You've got all these kings here. 2 kings. You've got an emperor. They don't have any problems making decisions. And this, I really feel, is about stepping up and just going in that direction. Take one little step. Do whatever it is. The emperor doesn't ask anyone. They have their kingdoms. They have their empires, these people. What are you trying to build? 4 of Wands, right? What are you trying to build? Good job so far, but where are we going to take this next? Are you going to wait for someone else to tell you? Or do you decide yourself? Now, that might be it. Because I'm asking myself, why? With all of this very strong, very masculine energy coming through, and that's yang energy, right? Which is action. Yin is the kind of receptive energy, but yang is let's act on this. Let's do something. Is it because there's someone else telling you what you should be doing? Because the emperor is the boss. He's the father figure. He can be someone who's saying, you know, that for your own good, they might be saying, yeah, like a father is going to tell you shouldn't be doing that or don't do that or whatever it is. But it's the 2 of Wands. It's your foundation. It's where are you taking it? Which direction do you want to go in? That is key here. That is key here. The thing with the emperor is he can be very stubborn. He can be very stubborn. My way or the highway. But that's what the conflict comes in here. Because he doesn't stand there considering any other way. He says, that's my way. I'm doing that. I'm going that way. We're going down that way. He decides it. He takes control. He brings order to a situation. So either someone's trying to do that with you, but that's for a few of you. Either way, even if you're dealing with someone like that, it's time for you to step up. Trust me, these two are very similar. I mean, that's Aries, right? And Mars is home in Aries. And we've got the King of Wands. He's a match for this. He's that entrepreneurial energy. And if you think about it, this could be, I mean, let's think of a business, right? So this guy might be, hey, I ran that shop for 30 years. This is how you do it. What is this internet nonsense? Is that kind of energy. And the King of Wands is like, no, you don't understand. I've started up 20 startups in the last 15 years. And, I've got a new one that I can do. And it's fun and it's whatever he's trying to do. So there could be this kind of difference in understanding between the two people. I've given that example here. But if in a relationship, right, if this is to do with relationships, and I feel it's big, it feels like it's all encompassing. Because even if you're picking a personal direction, that is going to change any commitments you have, because the Four of Wands can be a relationship, right? Taking it to the next level. Do you have someone disapproving saying, hey, you're too young to get married, or, you shouldn't be going for those kinds of people. You should be focused on work. For some of you with the Four of Wands, that's a house move, job move, that kind of energy. But the main energy here, I want to say it again, loud and clear for the people at the back, stepping into your own power, picking your direction. Who gives a shit if it's the wrong direction? You picked it, right? There is no such thing as a wrong direction. But the kind of general rule with the Two of Wands is you keep doing what you did, you're going to keep getting what you got. Do you want to keep getting what you got? And what happens when you kind of step into this and say, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do? We have the Page of Cups. That's such beautiful, nurturing energy. I love that energy. Because we go from all of this kind of strong masculinity with the Emperor and the Kings and stuff. And the Page of Cups. That's the point here. If you follow your passion, if you look at what you're trying to create, you're going to figure out how you feel about it. Our feelings are a divine guidance system. That's that, if you ever played that game, that hot, cold, freezing, where you get a kind of exciting emotion. Oh, I want to do this. That's you're closer to what you want. When you get something like, oh, I don't like that. That's you're far away from what you want, right? And it becomes very clear. Now, the Page of Cups, it might be the whole hoo-ha here for you might be of sending a message of love, of expressing how you feel, or exploring what you want, taking care of your own inner child. That's what the Page of Cups can be sometimes. But what you're trying to build here, it has to be based on how you feel. This guy, he always has that little fish in his cup. Do you see it? That little fish in his cup. Now, what did he do? Did he find that fish in the river behind? He thought, oh, I like that little fish. I'm going to take it home. But he has to put it in a bigger boat. It has to be nurtured, cared for, taken, looked after. And that's the whole point of the Page of Cups. It's an emotion at its beginning stage, but it needs to be taken care of, nurtured, grown. I'm getting very much that there's a show of force, a show of power that comes up first, but there's actually vulnerability behind it in a really beautiful way. And it's the combination of the two, and the Chariot says that too. I can understand this. I used to be part of a community that I ran, and I was at the mod, and I'd run it and I'd set it up and done all of this kind of stuff. And what I found was that the longer I was there, I was losing my softer side, because you are the person in charge and you have to have these stronger boundaries and do all of this kind of stuff. And I wasn't able to explore the reasons why I got involved in that community in the first place. And I haven't thought about that for ages. I left that, that was a couple of years ago now. But it's kind of, I'm getting that sense with this. That's what's kind of coming through here. You can have both, the head and the heart, right? They're both there. It's a balance between the both. Some of you might be thinking, well, I don't know. Is it going to be all action and all strength and all power? And I don't want that. I want to be able to celebrate what I've done. I want the softer side. You won't lose that softer side. In fact, it comes out more because you're going down your path that you've chosen. And when you do that, based on the knowledge that you have, the Chariot comes in. It's balancing the head and the heart, and it's victory through your own determination and efforts. It's a victory card. You'll put effort into it. But are you going to put in the same effort if you go down someone else's road that they've told you to go down? No. Are you going to want to grow it because it's based on what someone else? This is really getting very clear on your own path, what it is that you want, your own power. Yes, Gemini, you do have power. I was having a conversation with one of my Gemini friends the other day, actually, and we were talking about strength. And my friend's not into the tarot whatsoever. Not at all. And I was explaining the strength card, actually, and it's interesting that I remembered that. And I said, do you know that, strength is seen as bold moves, having the strength to go for something, to do something, to say something, all of that stuff. And I said, endurance is a strength as well. And a lot of people have that strength. They don't even realize it. I don't know who needed to hear that, but somebody did. I'll be doing that. It'll either already be up, in which case I'll link it at the end of this, or you'll see the kind of notification of when I plan to go live, depending on when you watch this. I want to say I love you guys very much, Gemini. I will see you next time, but that's all for now. Goodbye, my lovelies.